And I want to thank everyone here today who's watching this video. I want to thank my opponent Victor for graciously offering this time to debate with me. And before anything else, let's get this under wraps. Okay, so today is going to be my last debate. This is going to be my neg for this right here for the proposition of the Fit Kids Act. And right now I'm going to be putting down 4 points as of why you should not be voting for the Fit Kids Act. They're simply reiterations of what I've stated earlier, and basically counterpoints of what my opponent stated as well. The first one is I'm going to be titling it Manpower. The second one, I'm going to be titling it Funding. Third, I'm going to be titling it Child Harassment and Bullying. Fourth, I'm going to title it State Intrusion. Okay, first one, which I'm going to be going on, which I titled it as Manpower. This particular program, this federal program, is a program designed to help a child become physically fit, to eat healthy, to eat right. You would assume, okay, well, they do that at a PE class, but the thing is, with this particular program, it requires a specialized instructor, one that you would assume would work at like a private gym, like a private fitness instructor, a person that understands nutrition and understands physical education more to that than a standard physical PE teacher. The instructor wouldn't have to understand physical education for that of a child and nutrition for that of a child, and it's something that requires intense studying or a large amount of experience with. Um, as of right now, I don't believe we have a large enough pool of trained personnel or applicants to fulfill or fill in the ranks of such a large endeavor, since this program is a nationwide program. Uh, it's just not something feasible, or it's not something that is considered feasible at this time to run this program. If it were to run this program, I would say right now we would just simply not have enough personnel to run the program. The second point was funding. At a point where schools are cutting back on a lot of extracurricular programs, we simply do not have the funding to implement this program as of right now. When schools are cutting back on art classes, on music classes, on a lot of sports classes, the fact is that this particular program is not something that we should place a priority on. My opponent made a statement saying, "Oh well, this class is just simply would be like an ordinary class." But in reality, if it's just an ordinary class, why are we placing such a high priority on such an ordinary class when I personally feel, like I stated, an art class or a music class would have precedence over something like this when we already have a program, the physical education program that we have right now, that can be utilized, or if it's something that's not working, just fixed to fulfill the requirements that are needed right now. If with all the money that we are currently, or the money that we currently do not have for the program, I personally believe that this program would not be fiscally responsible to implement as of right now. The third point, which I titled harassment and bullying, this particular program places emphasis on children that are not physically fit. I repeat, places an emphasis on. It would be easier for other students to identify and target or single out the students who are less physically fit and emotionally or physically bully them. As of right now, the children right now are more susceptible to emotional trauma or emotional damage than at any other time, just due to the emotional psyche of the elementary, middle school, and high school student. This particular program, I feel, might be trying to address one problem, but simply highlighting or strengthening another problem of that of bullying. And the fourth point I'm bringing up right now, which I titled as state intrusion. State intrusion. This particular program is a federally run program. The thing is that I'm a personal believer in the responsibility of the parent to teach or to take care of the child or train the child in physical education and in nutrition, and not that of the state. This particular program, I feel, is just simply a stepping stone for state intrusion into the lives of more children and it's in a larger or in a grander scale. As of right now, this is simply trying to teach the children how to simply do how to take care of their bodies a certain way. In the future, it can lead to other things, stating, "Oh well, we've already taught you how to do the push-ups. Now you can only do the push-ups a certain way," or "We taught you how to take care of yourself or eat certain things. Now you can only eat certain things now." I personally feel this is simply, like I stated, a stepping stone for state intrusion into the lives of the youth, and I personally believe that isn't right. It should be the responsibility of the parents, not the state, to instruct the children how to take care of themselves. So, for those points, which I will reiterate right now, the first one being manpower, which we do not currently have a large enough pool of trained personnel to fulfill the ranks. The second one being funding, at a time where we just simply do not have the funding to implement a lot of programs, especially this program. Third one, the harassment and bullying. Simply targeting out unfit children and the possibility of them being emotionally damaged. And the fourth one is state intrusion, the intrusion of the state into the private lives of the children. Those 4 points are the reasons why you should vote for NEG on the proposition of the Fit Kids Act. And I thank you.